Hey, dear Lovetuner family and friends and listeners, I'm very happy to introduce you to Gary Culp. And his career is long. He has been in this game for a very, very long time, but I'm very honored that he became a Lovetuner team writer. And today we're going to talk about the real core mission, and this is the love frequency. I do different podcasts with different people. We talk about foundation, we talk about what Lovetuner is doing in the world for schools, for veterans, etc. But with Gary today, I'm really honored because we talk about the core, we talk about the 528 hertz mission and the frequency. And we're gonna do a quick tune for our listeners.
Oh, sure.
To connect in the frequency. Perfect. So
I'm improving my length.
I know.
One of our friends down here in Sayulita, who's also a team writer, is a great surfer, and he has the record for holding the longest out breath of tone. I think it's 1 minute and 15 seconds. I watched it on a video and you've sent out. It was like, it's awesome. He's going to be here at our expression when we have our party. We'll be talking about.
Very nice. Very nice. I want to introduce you real quick. So Gary has been on a world and peace mission basically your entire life. So this is what you have been doing. You had multiple careers. You have been a pastoral career. You founded an interfaith peace community. Give us a little bit more insight. What brought us you actually to coming through all those steps? You're a therapist. You're a singer-songwriter. You're very related to music. How did you discover the power of the 528 hertz frequency?
Well, interesting. Like, you know how things come to people. We think of it as synchronistically, serendipitously, and we are being guided. That's an idea that Rumi has. We have a stall keeper who's like training us like a horse and leading us around. And when we get off too far base, he brings us back. And so I believe that the people that we meet and the stories that we hear are all non-accidents. I think everything has a purpose for our own life's purpose. So some years ago, I ran across the solfeggio sound system through a friend who said, "Oh, wow, you should hear this 528 thing." And I started studying it, and it had to do at that time with Leonard Horowitz and the whole concept of the solfeggio movement. And also the 528 is known as the love frequency. And I thought, wow, that's cool. And so I began to study it. I got a set of the solfeggio tuning forks and started using them in my therapy sessions and trying to help people understand what G was about, which removes guilt and shame and fear, and what the A's were, C was about, miracles and transformation. We'd chime them. And so I did that for quite a while, all the way through from about 2014 or so, all the time you were, developing Lovetuner, parallel. It was so fun. I had not the slightest idea what you were doing. So I was using these frequencies, especially 528, for a long time with my music, with my groups, with my teaching. And then last September, you will believe it or not, a friend of mine put me online and said, "Oh, I just saw this thing Deepak Chopra is showing around. It's called a Lovetuner, right in tune with our solfeggio," because Susan and I are both solfeggio enthusiasts, play our videos, our CDs and stuff, and listen to them in those tones. And so I checked it out immediately, and within the next day, I'm sending you guys my money, and within about 2 days, I think I was actually holding it in my hand and trying to figure out how to open that crazy little box, so beautifully designed, and trying to figure it out. And the first thing I saw was one world, one love, one tone, and I thought, wow, gave me like goosebumps. I couldn't believe that I was holding something in my hand that if I had followed a different form of the path, the one that you did, I would have been sitting right beside you, creating it with you, because I so much believed in it. So I brought it down to Sayulita to our meditation group on Sunday morning. And right away, when I got here in October and I showed it and I said, you know, this is a Lovetuner. And Laura, one of the women in the group sitting across from me, she said, oh, I have one too. I got mine from Deepak Chopra. So we were tuning together that very first day that I got back to Sayulita. So I've written to you and told you how I believe that we're being called together. We're the people that, and with the vision and the ideas that this earth that the world has been waiting to hear and to experience. And I'm really happy to be a part of your family and everything. I've loved the podcasts. Anybody who's listening to us right now, I really encourage you to go to the interviews that Sigmar has done with such an amazing variety of people, and the resource and the diversity that you have brought to us through them is just totally enriching. And I've been really very indebted to you and to your community the last 5 months that I've been here.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
You know, like, what our listeners might not know is something. You wrote a novel in 2017, I think.
Yeah, I did.
It was.
It's
Yeah.
called The Gift. Call it grace.
Yeah.
That's a quote from Rumi, he's one of my favorite writers. But the story is about music and about how 528 created a vibrational frequency that began to change the world. And it's about a group of musicians who got together, and each of them, one by one, were discovering 528. And when they put their band together and their music and their creative writing together, it's an amazing story of how, because I believe music, is like the universal language. And I do believe that if we can all speak a language that we all somehow feel and understand, as music is, that it will make a major shift in the consciousness of the world. So, and I did that, the same time you guys were, pumping out your little flutes and stuff, and here in another realm, that was being created. So, now that they've kind of come together, for me anyway, it feels real serendipitous and very.
I don't know. You know that we composed already electronic music on 528 hertz, because for me, I know that every revolution has his music, the late 60s had rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I see right now, because it's so easy with synthesizers, our revolution is it's obviously also analog music, but it's electronic music. So because it's so easy to lay a sound carpet of 528 hertz to adjust the frequency. And I'm educating DJs and producers around the world since a while that they need to pitch up from 440 on the A pitch to 444. So there will be a podcast launched with a British producer. His name is Ali Love. So he's the latest member of the Lovetuner family. And he works with big names like Chemical Brothers, Camel Fat. So he does like really dance floor top hits, played in all the clubs around the world. And so we are working right now on the first album from Ali, what is pitched in 528 hertz. But I would like to have you as a professional tell us a little bit more what really happened with our musical scale, why we are out of tune, and why it's so important to get back into tune, because the music will more or less be the same, but it will be harmonious and it will touch your heart, because the forgotten note, the high pitched C, the 528, is only forgotten because it brings our people into harmony and will solve a lot of problems that we have right now.
Oh, I believe that so much. Go back to the DJ. We have had this party before, and my DJ, Jorge, tunes his sound system up so many cents, what it's called, so that everything he's playing is played in 528. And the other band and another team that I have, part of our team here, is Jess and Alyssa, who have a band, and she wears a Lovetuner everywhere she goes. and it calms her family and all. But Jess is a DJ, particularly besides their music career, at weddings. And he tunes all of his DJ music up to 528. We say 444, which is like A 444. And he announces it. He said, "You guys are dancing to a vibe tonight that's different from the one you hear ordinarily. So live it up and feel like it's touching." Like he sells it to people. And I just love Jess because I think, that's a wedding with 70 people. But those 70 people have an experience that's like unlike any they've had before, dancing and partying together. And then they go home and they tell, people about what a great, so it's a ripple for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the story of the shift in that ripple, as far as I know, and I have traced it pretty much to 1936, when the standardization committees that standardize everything decided they would standardize music at 440 cycles per second, hertz, A. And all music is tuned from the A, which is the 4A, which is the A above middle C. So when that happened, when 440 became the standardized frequency for A, C at that point became 523.25 hertz. 523.25, not 528. So for all this time, since 1936, and some people believe it was even a part of a conspiracy to take us down, to lower the vibe, to set us off at a place where we don't understand compassion and love of each other through our music. Music is wonderful. It can totally empower us, inspire us, and bring us to tears. So it's an emotional medium, and it's a language that speaks to everyone. And the fact that even though we're tuned down 4 3/4 hertz from where we could be, music is wonderful. But what we believe is that if music were tuned back to where it's supposed to be, where it resonates with our own bodies, with nature, with the green of nature, or the olive green, the color of 528 hertz, all of that balance and rhythm gets back into our system, and then harmony will be really not only like felt, but it will be physically, and that's what's so wonderful about I think the measuring is scientific, and the measuring and all of the research and stuff that you guys have done and that Leonard did back in the day all point to the fact that it's not just woo-woo, it's not just somebody's crazy idea. Kind of the way I thought it was when I first started writing my novel, because I didn't understand that there was more to music than music, that there really is frequency, and it really does effect and have an effect on our system, our bodies. So when all that came across to me, it was like, yeah, this is like something that we all are being misguided by. And if we can get a quote movement to bring and raise the vibe, I called it. So I have a woman on Vashon, where we live in this summer, has a radio program called Raise the Vibe. I've spoken on it, and many people have spoken on it. And it's not just quote vibe. We all say, we can throw that word, oh, cool vibration, man. Oh, I'm really, we're vibrating together. But it's scientific. So it's a cool word, and we are vibing, and there is a good vibration to that party we had last weekend or whatever. But there's more to it than just that word. And I think the more conscious that we bring, the broader listenership that's like sharing now and will in our future, to bring them into the idea that 528 is a powerful tone. It's the tone of the heart. It's a tone that we call the love frequency. But it's raising the vibe, raising a little bit. And my wife is a vocalist. She's a professional singer and a musician and has taught, blah, blah, blah. And when we had our piano tuned back in Vashon, where we live, from 523.525 to 528, 2 summers ago. I said, we're having our piano lifted, you know? So the tuning lady came in with all her frequency stuff and tuned it up. And Jennifer, my wife, was like, I don't know about this, you know, we're all you. Well, she was like thrilled by it. And our piano feels like it's got more energy now. It feels more resonant with itself. And I think it really makes our home feel more isn't that crazy? But maybe it's in our head. But I believe as we believe, so we are.
I need to correct you here. It's in your heart.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Because like when we started playing even our composed music and people started downloading it from the homepage and they said, we are letting it play on the sound system at home. I have it in my earpods, etc. They told us, listen, something happened. They had a better day. They have been more relaxed. And this happens already by just listening to it. And when you're on top of it, tune in with your tuner, it just takes you out of your head into your heart in no time. And yeah, now like we all know John Lennon, we all know about Imagine, and this was exactly composed in 528 hertz. Some people say he didn't know about it, but I don't think it was an accident. I think he was far out there and he was very advanced and he really was on a mission. And this is why this song became the most famous peace and love song in the world. And it's so easy to be recreated. So DJs, and this is like everybody who listens right now, is like, this is not a pitch from Lovetuner. This is something just to bring everyone into harmony. Go back to your synthesizer, go on A and tune it up from 440 to 444 hertz, and you will be in a miracle tone and miracles will happen. And I think this is all we should do. And I don't care about conspiracy. I don't care about who changed it. I just care about that we go back to this frequency and we can make a lot of people happy. And what I want to touch real quick is our idea, or you're doing it since a couple of years already, to celebrate 528 hertz on May 28th. And this is what we started like a couple of years back, or we talked about the Lovetuner Day, and we started gathering people around the world and tuning. Last year through COVID, we couldn't do it, but we reached more people than ever before. I did a tune on Instagram, and I don't know, we had 1,000 people tuning in, and I did it twice. So I did it at 528 hertz my time, as a Pacific time, and then we did it again in the afternoon at 528 hertz, and we did it exactly for 528 seconds, what is about 6 minutes. And this is something what we should tell also the world now. You will do an event in Saulita. We wanted to join. We are a little bit hesitant because of COVID right now, but we will have a group here in Malibu tuning. We have people in Venice. We have people in Vancouver. In Europe, a friend of mine is doing a big tuning in Ibiza, and so on and so on. So we're gathering people, but we really want to encourage everyone, no matter where you are in the world, just get a tuner. And if you don't have a tuner, then just tune in with your thoughts, with your heart, and connect to this frequency field, what we are creating. And we are spinning this web of love around the world, and everybody counts. It's like stars that will guide us in the darkness. And then this
Yeah,
is
and you call it a frequency field, which is really what we'll be creating that day. Be wrapping that around from time zone to time zone. We'll be actually bringing that same frequency around the earth. Yeah.
We're going to send out also a newsletter to all our clients and to all our friends. And we really want to engage everyone to participate, because it's what is it, 6 minutes a day, and you will really help to raise the frequency of our planet. And this is all what it takes right now. And as we know already that the Schumann frequency of the Earth is anyway a valid raising. So we need to follow up. We as a human race, we need to catch up. You know, the universe is ready. Our planet is ready.
I got it. I think you're right.
One who are behind is actually us, and we are the creator in this little play that we are playing on this planet. And I think
it's fun because I'm part of I have a circle meditation group that meets on Wednesday and Monday at the beach. And there's about 40 or 50 of us who just sit in silence for 20 minutes at sunset and watch the beautiful day come to an end. And different people lead that circle, which is great, passing it around. And last night, not last night, Wednesday night, anyway, Rosie from England was leading the group, and she was talking, and very much some breath exercise too, because breathing through the nose, as the little card says, breathe through the nose, really does change our energy. And then breathing out through the mouth makes that circle go around and around. So she was talking about the three different aspects, the lower abdomen, the middle chest, and the higher clavicles, bringing the air in fully and then putting it out. And I was talking to her about I said, oh, by the way, I was showing her the Lovetuner again and played some music with that. And then I said to her, oh, by the way, I have an event for you. And she said, oh, what is it? I said, oh, it's Lovetuner Day. We're going to do it in May 28th. She said, oh, I won't be here. I'm going to be in Puerto Rico, I think she said. And I said, oh, you don't have to go to it. You can be it. I said, it's your event. Wherever you are, make the event. She said, oh, I can do that. And she plays crystal bowls. She has about a dozen of them. And she's going to have an event in a yoga center there. And she's going to invite people, and they're just going to do sound and just get bathed. She calls it a Gong Bath, but it's bathing yourself in sound and frequency. So the main thing is for people who are hearing this and excited about it, is that it's not an event that you may have to go to because of COVID or whatever. It's your event, and you can create it where you are. And hopefully, I'd like to see us be able to do some kind of video connecting with each other or something. And we got 6 weeks to do it. Maybe there's something we can figure out that Malibu can, check out what's going on in Sayulita, and I can see
a live stream on Instagram, like when you guys are streaming, and I can also check. It's just a little bit tough with Europe. We can extend it all the way up to Vancouver to get another group in there.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, really nice experience for us. And what I wanted to tell you, because you just thought about breathing, with the Lovetuner, and this is the interesting part, is because you take a conscious breathing break, and you connect to the frequency, and you consciously connect to love, and this is just what happens. You're inviting love in your life, and it's such a simple thing. And with all the knowledge what is out there besides your book, I mean, guys, you can Google for days about the 528 hertz, and it's nothing that will disturb you. It's just like such an easy way to enhance your life, and you will see how your frequency enhances and how you connect to people and the frequency of people that you will attract. And I think the resonance, the law of resonance, this is literally where we all need to go back. We all react to bad frequency because there's a bad vibe, but we barely do actually something to raise our frequency. And this is such a simple tool to do it, and listen to 528 hertz frequency, really consciously connect to this web of love and just fuel it every day. This is such a simple thing to do.
Was it Kim Chi? The woman that something, I just heard her most recently, and she was saying how she is so true that our DNA is programmed to look for problems, or be afraid, or to check it out, or see what's going wrong here. That we are, and to think negatively, in fear. And she said how the Lovetuner, she thinks, really bathes us once again in possibility and hope, and as you said, brings it right to the love frequency. And you're not afraid when you're there. You're relaxed. You're stress free. It's a shift, and we know it, and we know more people are gonna understand it in time.
And especially because you mentioned Chi Kim, she's the CEO of the Pure Ink Foundation that we support since a while, and we are donating a Lovetuners, and they are providing it into the school systems as the easiest working mindfulness tool. And it's very interesting because their program is actually not even the kids. I mean, in the long run they are, but they call it Educate the Educator. And what is very important, because kids are open, kids have no layers, but the educators have, and they need to let the guards down and open their heart. And what she told me, and this is so interesting because she's dealing with very down to earth people who are like very pragmatic. And she says one thing happens to each and every one of those people who are on school boards, etc.
You're right.
When they tune, they get a giggle, and
Right,
they smile, and this is already the answer, So when you see that your system shifts, because, like everybody can have a pissed off face, but then suddenly during your workday, you get a smile on your face just because you connect to this frequency. I mean, just keep on doing it and constantly, and your life will improve. It will lift up. Like it will not solve your problem, but it will give you a different perspective. And maybe down the road, connecting constantly to this frequency, your energy field will shift. You will vibrate higher, and the law of resonance will obviously bring you better energy. This is just a cosmic law, and it works simple and easy. And you don't even need to have a bunch of education about spirituality, because the frequency goes anyway with you, in you, and around you.
I like how Deepak says, well, you can do it with your meditation, you can do it before your meditation, or you can do it instead of meditation, it can take place of, because studies that have been done
Yeah.
with sound and with the frequency is that the mind does shift, we do change, and the stress levels do fall, and we connect to like it's science. And I've always been, science is something that I've always felt like, as a spiritual leader and as a minister of churches for many years, I've always felt like we needed, people may think they need more proof than, spirit or whatever. And I believe that with the science on this, on the Lovetuner, we're getting some studies that have been done that are creating the confidence we have to say, yeah, this works. Try it. Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of testing in the last couple of years with bioresonance machines and biofeedback, and this all works on frequency, obviously. And we saw people before they tuned, and we have it published on our homepage. So, and we have been measuring the vital signal from the organs to the skin to whatever, you name it. And it improved up to 96% the vital signals in your body within 2 or 3 minutes of tuning. And I mean, a big part is because you get oxygen in, but the uplifting comes from the frequency. And just showing this it's a no-brainer, like there's nothing what you need to be scared of. It's something wonderful to connect to. And when you open your heart, you will see your life changes. And this is what I tell everyone: get out of your head, get into your heart, and shut up this monkey brain that tells you,
Really,
what does not work,
so much. In Yat Khan, I was reading some the Sufi, teacher and master, was a really believer that music was the key
Yeah.
to change and to healing the world. And I really was reading some stuff about him recently about how he really believed that if we use music and toning and more, that peace would come. Just like the Dalai Lama says, if we taught meditation to 8-year-olds, within a generation there would be no war on the planet. It's like that. And you're teaching young children to use the Lovetuner to bring them into that place, making a difference. I know we are.
Thank you, Gary. Hey, I really appreciated what you said. We're gonna publish it on our homepage. It will be on YouTube. I hope a lot of people, and especially musicians, gonna watch what you just said, because it's basically like a manual how to go in the right frequency, how to adjust your synthesizer, how to pitch in the right tone on A444. We're gonna publish it, and when people have questions, I will publish your homepage that people can connect.
Great, perfect.
This is what we want to do. So far, I'm gonna wish you an amazing event on
Thank
5/28
you so much. Stay with you. And
today,
yeah,
and it's gonna sink in, and we're gonna share this to our Lovetuner family.
what I think is like really promising and positive about this is that we're sort of scratching the surface this year and getting some people to think about it on that particular day, and setting us up for a really amazing, maybe a global event that really does make a shift and change next year, 22. but we got to start somewhere. So
Yeah, you do. Hey, Gary, thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Love and light, and have an epic day.
Great.
And then
Thank you.
sunset. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.